Come and join me as we explore neighborhood mysteries that will question reality, morality, and authenticity. I am Stacy Page, and welcome to Untold Suburbanite Stories.
Rain turned Oak Street into black glass, and the neon sign outside the Daily Grind buzzed like a warning. Inside, Detective Marcus Vance sat alone in his makeshift office, surrounded by cold coffee, case files, and one photograph pinned to the center of a corkboard. A silver sedan, caught in security camera glare, speeding away from Clara Montgomery's house. It was all the police had. 3 years earlier, Clara vanished from her locked suburban home on a night just like this. No broken windows, no signs of a struggle. Her phone sat on the kitchen counter, still charging. According to the alarm log, the front door opened, then closed. 6 minutes later, her husband received an audio file from an untraceable address. Marcus pressed play. A low hum filled the room. Then rain. Then a warped, metallic voice whispered the sentence that had haunted him for 3 years. The circle closes where the shadow begins. Everyone else moved on. Clara's husband left the state. The department buried the file. The headlines disappeared. But Marcus kept listening. He checked every suspect, every strange vehicle report, every enemy Clara might have had. Nothing held. Until tonight, an anonymous call came from a payphone 3 blocks away. No name, no explanation, just GPS coordinates. They led to the old water treatment facility on the edge of town, a concrete maze scheduled for demolition at sunrise. Marcus didn't wait for backup. He drove through the rain, wipers beating like a second pulse, flashlight on the passenger seat, hand never far from his weapon. The facility rose from the mist like a ruin. Marcus slipped through a torn chain-link fence and crossed the gravel yard, his light catching rusted pipes, broken glass, and graffiti-covered walls. The coordinates led below ground. Each staircase took him deeper. The air grew colder. Damp earth and stagnant water thickened in his throat. At the end of a narrow corridor, he found an iron door, unbolted and cracked open to darkness. Marcus pushed it inward. His flashlight swept across a windowless concrete room. In the center sat a clean wooden chair. On it rested a micro-cassette recorder. Its red light was already glowing. Marcus stepped closer, heart pounding. He pressed play. The tape hissed, then came the hum, then the rain, then the voice. But not the old message. "Hello, Marcus," it whispered. "Turn around." Before he could move, the iron door slammed shut behind him, and the room fell into absolute darkness. On a rainy Tuesday evening in late October, the lives of Marcus and Maya Vance, a young, successful black couple living in a quiet, tree-lined suburb, were violently and abruptly cut short. From their perspective in those final, terrifying moments, there was no warning, no demands for money, no heated arguments, and no time to react. Just the sudden splintering of their front door, the heavy, deliberate footsteps on the hardwood, and the cold, metallic flash of a firearm in the dim light of the hallway lamp. The first shot took the air right out of the living room. The second silenced the house entirely. Within seconds, the intruder retreated into the night, leaving the home completely undisturbed, save for the devastating loss left in the quiet. When a neighbor discovered the scene the following morning, investigators were immediately baffled. There was no signs of a struggle, nothing of value was stolen, and no obvious motive emerged. Looking at the case from the perspective of what Marcus and Maya left behind, the detectives initially sought the standard answers, examining bank accounts, workplace dynamics, and personal relationships. But the couple lived an honest, quiet life, leaving the authorities with absolutely nothing to grip onto. As a result, the investigation began to drift into a bizarre and deeply confusing rabbit hole. Every lead the detectives followed only seemed to unlock a new, more frustrating layer of questions. A traffic camera 3 blocks away captured a vehicle registered to a defunct corporation around the time of the murders. When authorities pulled that thread, the paper trail led to a labyrinth of dummy P.O. boxes across 3 states, all tied to identities that simply did not exist. Simultaneously, a forensic sweep of the couple's home electronics revealed a mysterious digital footprint on Marcus's work computer, pointing to an encrypted server overseas. Analysts could never determine if it was a targeted hack or a random, coincidental ping. To make matters more unsettling, an anonymous tip line received 3 separate calls detailing the exact interior layout of the Vance home, but the calls were traced back to untraceable burner phones activated in 3 different cities on the exact same afternoon. For months, the authorities chased these digital and bureaucratic ghosts. They spent weeks investigating a decade-old local land dispute, convinced a previous property owner held a grudge, before shifting focus to a random cybersecurity glitch at Maya's marketing firm. Every path they took felt like a maze, specifically designed to keep them walking in circles. The investigation became so bogged down by these elaborate dead-end anomalies that the core focus of the crime itself began to blur. By the 1-year anniversary, the momentum had completely stalled. The corporate paper trails evaporated into thin air, the digital forensics yielded nothing but corrupted data, and the anonymous caller never phoned again. Every single elaborate theory hit a concrete wall. The files, once stacked high on the lead detective's desk, were eventually boxed up and moved to the basement archives. Marcus and Maya Vance became names on a manila folder labeled Unsolved. Their tragic end frozen in time, a profound mystery that spiraled into a total dead end, leaving their case permanently cold.
In 2011, 29-year-old Ethan Mercer left a voicemail for his mother. The message was only 10 seconds long. "Mom, I figured it out. I'll explain tomorrow." Tomorrow never came. By morning, Ethan had vanished. Ethan's car was in the driveway. His wallet was on the kitchen table. Nothing appeared stolen. There were no signs of a struggle. Police had only one clue: that voicemail. What had Ethan figured out? For years, nobody knew. 3 years later, investigators discovered Ethan's journal. Inside were notes about a road on the edge of town. He believed county records had been altered decades earlier. The deeper police looked, the stranger it became. Missing files, conflicting reports, and evidence that officials had covered something up. Beneath the road, workers uncovered a buried warehouse. The town was stunned. Everyone assumed Ethan had uncovered a dangerous secret and been silenced. The theory seemed perfect, until investigators entered the warehouse. It was empty. No evidence, no bodies, no answers. More than a decade later, DNA testing revealed something shocking. Ethan had recently learned he was adopted, and the county engineer connected to the buried warehouse was actually his biological father. Suddenly, the voicemail made sense. When Ethan said, "I figured it out," he wasn't talking about the warehouse. He wasn't talking about the cover-up. He was talking about who he really was. Investigators later discovered Ethan had secretly opened a bank account months before disappearing. Money was withdrawn from it for years after he vanished. The truth was something nobody expected. Ethan wasn't murdered. He wasn't kidnapped. He chose to leave. The buried warehouse, the altered records, and the decades-old mystery were all real, but they weren't the reason he disappeared. They distracted everyone from the truth, including the investigators. For 15 years, an entire town searched for a killer.
But there never was one. The biggest mystery wasn't what happened to Ethan Mercer. It was why everyone assumed a crime had happened at all.